1, 2, 3. Greetings and salutations.
The universe is just doomed.
Hello, Betty. What's the problem? I haven't got a problem. I've got fucking problems. Plural. Wanna hear?
Happy New Year!
Happy New Year! 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay!
Kisses for all.
Smooches. Now you have mono.
Oh no, we're bringing back the 90s. We're bringing back mono. We are bringing you 4 Rooms.
Yes.
A New Year's Eve movie.
It's a New Year's Eve treat.
We've got Kim here as Betty, our manager.
She's going to manage. Actually, she's not.
Yeah,
she's going to bail on us.
She's going to bail on us, and we're going to call her as an emergency at the very last minute.
We've got fucking problems.
That's right. Doom Biz. Subscribe, like, rate, review, share us with your friends. Join our
Share.
Patreon at patreon.com/Doom Generation. Chat with us in the Doom Room on Discord.
Oh.
I will post a link in our Instagram bio. Also, buy some merch at doomgeneration.threadless.com. And that is the Doom Biz.
Hey, business concluded.
So,
Let's
any
get to the party.
free convo about I mean, I love this movie. I've seen this movie
Yeah.
so many fucking times.
Also.
The soundtrack is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say. It's just
it's
it's very Jerry Lewis, which I watched a
Fuck
lot
Jerry
of. I know, but I watched a lot of Jerry Lewis movies as a kid before you knew Jerry Lewis was an asshole.
Did they ever release that movie about the concentration camp clown?
I don't know.
Isn't that a thing where
I
he was in
don't
a movie
know.
where he played a clown that like entertained concentration camp kids? And they like
I'm
never
not
released
aware.
it.
I
Well,
yeah,
and he was way more enthusiastic.
but yes, the mannerisms in this, like that's the only sense I could make of it with Tim Roth's mannerisms. Is this is some sort of
Right.
homage to Jerry Lewis
It
because they
must
do
be.
bring up
Yes,
Jerry
they
Lewis
do.
in the movie as well. So
That's
I presume
true.
it's that.
They do. Well, they have when the logo comes up in the opening credits, Mr. Orange, Tim Roth's character from he turns into the bellhop.
I didn't even notice.
Because you know I love an animated opening.
I do. So the cast
We have Tim Roth,
as Ted the Bellhop.
Quentin Tarantino as Chester.
So I just did them. I kind of grouped them in
in
their
the
things.
Okay, so maybe
So
you should do
I
it.
didn't even put their character names because there isn't a lot of talk about it. There's a
Not
little
their
bit.
names as much, but I
They,
have
I mean, they
them.
do say their names, but I
Yeah.
just put Madonna, Ione Skye,
Mm-hmm.
Valeria Golino, Lily Taylor, Sammy Davis, and Alicia Witt in the missing ingredient as the witches.
Right.
Antonio Banderas and Tamlin Tomita in the misbehaviors. I didn't write the kids' names, and they're really the star of that fucking
I know.
thing. What are
I
the
don't
kids'
know.
names?
I don't know. I don't know.
I thought you would have this for some
I
reason.
not that. I didn't. I thought about that too. I was like, oh, Lana McKissick.
Okay.
As Sarah. And Danny Verduzco as Juancho.
And it never says their names, I don't think. Does it?
Juancho and Sarah.
Good news to me.
I
Because I
think
think
they
they're
said
just man
Sarah.
and wife, Antonio
He's
Banderas.
man,
and,
yeah. Yeah. It's like the second time, isn't it, that he's played like L? Wasn't he in Desperado? Wasn't he
Oh,
just
maybe. I haven't seen that one
And
in a
mariachi.
really long time.
L? Ooh, well, now this is also Robert Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
And the dancing gal on the TV is Salma Hayek.
Yes, I do have a note about that.
Oh.
Jennifer Beals and David Preval in The Wrong Man. And David Preval is...
The man that I thought was Alan Arkin's in Monster Squad. But now he looks like Al Pacino.
Yeah, now he's
Like,
giving you
as-
Al Pacino. in
Well,
this.
now present day now, not in this. In this, he looks like, I don't know, not Alan Arkin.
Paul Calderon, Bruce Willis, and Quentin Tarantino in The Man from Hollywood, which
And-
also had Jennifer Beals, but she was already
Right.
another.
And Bruce Willis is uncredited because he went against, what is it, SAG rules to appear in this movie, like for free.
Oh,
So
interesting.
he was able to do it under the condition that he remained off the credits.
Interesting.
But y'all know who Bruce Willis
Yes, you do.
is.
Kathy Griffin as Betty and Marissa Tomei as Margaret.
Yep.
That's who I have. Do you
I
have
have
anybody
them
else?
too. Amanda de Cadenet as Diana.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And yeah, that's it. That's all I had extra.
So each segment is directed by a different person.
I have all that at the end. Like
You have it
who
at the
was who directed what.
Okay. And so now my very first note is, so I watched this on Pluto. And why was the loading screen Marissa Tomei in a blonde bouffant wig?
Oh, that's weird. No,
She was
doesn't.
not
She was
in a
smoking
blonde
bowl and
wig.
pigtails.
She's like all dressed up for New Year's Eve in this photo with
That's
Tim
weird.
Roth, and they're both peeking around a door frame. And I'm like, she never appears in a scene with him. She
That's
never has
weird
blonde hair in
because I
this.
saw that because remember I told you I also went to watch it on Pluto.
Yes.
And then I got wrapped up in Wednesday, and instead of watching 4 Rooms, that's what I watched. And the very next day it was gone.
Oh man, Pluto likes to fuck with you like that.
I was so mad. I was like, for real? I had to pay my $3 hairs.
But yeah, I'm sitting there looking at the loading screen. I'm like, wait,
I don't remember
that's
that
Marissa
scene from anything.
Tomei. What the fuck is this picture?
Huh.
Because it's him in his bellhop outfit. It makes sense for that, but
I wonder if it's like a cut dream sequence or some shit. I don't know.
yeah, I don't know.
She had like pearls on, didn't she?
Maybe,
at the,
yeah. It,
at the
like she was
after party.
Did she have pearls on?
I don't know.
She was playing
I
video
mean,
games and
like,
smoking weed. I don't remember. I
they were
thought she was just
playing
in
Rambo.
Scrubs. Or not
well,
Scrubs,
maybe
Scrubs,
she was
like
in her after party, but then Kathy Griffith was just like laid out
Just
in her jeans, like right behind her. She rose up like Frankenstein's monster.
That's my
Like,
house.
I
So-
fucking live here. Who the fuck are you?
and so we're at the Hotel Monsignor on
Yes.
New Year's Eve.
Mm-hmm.
And the old bellhop is training the new bellhop.
Yep, old Sam. I looked it up. I guess
Oh,
it's
old
Sam.
Sam. Okay.
He was like, we used to have 50 in staff here, and I'm the only one left. And it all comes down to one schmuck, me, the night bellhop. He
Some-
talks about where the name came from. Like, some schmuck rings a bell and you hop.
And he tells him how to get a tip. And if he doesn't get the tip, you say to yourself, fuck you, Jack.
Right?
You never miss.
You never miss. And he tells him to steer clear of night clerks, kids, hookers, and married arguments.
Keep your cock in your pants.
Keep your cock in your pants.
Slam! And he leaves him alone. And then we have this lovely animation, which I love.
And I love this wall of keys. I was so
Yeah.
disappointed when I worked at the night clerk.
And it
at
was
the
just
hotel.
cards.
It was cards and cubbies.
Damn
Yeah,
it,
was
I
like,
only
"Man,
took this job for the wall
I
of keys.
wanted the wall of keys. But yeah, but yes, again, I say I love me an animated opening credits. And then of course we have the Band Apart logo, and he comes, he turns into the thing. And then we have our first bit, which is the honeymoon suite, the missing ingredient.
And this one is by Allison Anders, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, well, you have
So
that.
we can
then
just do
together.
it
Just
as
do
we
it as
go.
it go.
So yeah, Ted is showing Valeria, and I didn't see her name in the
Valeria
credits. Valeria
Galina.
Galina. I didn't see her name in the opening.
Athena.
But I mean, it didn't say, because like it gives the little
Oh,
blocks
right,
in
yeah,
the opening
and
credits,
she
and I don't
wasn't-
think she was in there.
She wasn't good enough.
She was like their leader.
I know.
She was like the head of their coven.
It seemed that way.
And this beautiful cauldron tub just comes standard in the honeymoon suite.
I hate the fucking decor in this room,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I love this
That
fucking tub.
Well, that's why they
Ugh.
immediately cover it up.
I know
The decor.
I
They're like,
know.
oh no, we're putting up some
we
witchy
need
shit in
to
here.
we need to fix this situation. So anyway, these beautiful women start to arrive.
And Madonna, in my opinion, at her fucking peak.
I wrote that same
Yes.
thing. Holy shit, Madonna
Beautiful.
in this latex dress.
Yes.
My God, this is peak Madge.
Yes.
That is exactly what I wrote.
Beautiful.
Ah,
So she arrives and he's playing pinball in the lobby, which,
Mm-hmm.
hey, I would work that job. You got a pinball machine?
right.
When I'm not doing nothing, I can play pinball. all I want.
That was the only thing that they were missing at the hotel that I worked at. There was no pinball machine.
And then she calls in her girl
Kiva.
slave.
Kiva.
You're not my mother.
Yes, I am.
Why are we sleeping together?
What? What? She's like, what did I tell you about smoking? Like, welcome to this edition of Who is a Hypocrite?
Mm-hmm.
And where did she acquire this teenage girl? Because she do seem young.
She
it doesn't
does.
seem right. Even
She's on
though
the
it's
cusp
Madonna.
of 18, maybe. She
On
maybe
the
is
edge
18.
of 17.
She's only 17.
17!
So they go into the room and Madonna puts Ted's tip in her titties.
Of course. And he comes up and grab it all awkwardly. Yes.
And then I don't know how to describe Sammy Davis as like the Southern Belle kitten.
Sammy
witch.
Davis Sr.
Yeah,
Sammy
no,
Davis
she's just
Jr.?
straight up Sammy Davis.
Just Sammy Davis. And this hat.
Yes.
Oh
so she gives
my.
me Southern Belle kind of, but she's also like kitten witch.
Yeah, Jezebel
And then Lily Taylor, of course,
is barefoot. Oh.
barefoot hippie witch.
She's looking for the room. I'm looking for the room for making love.
The honeymoon suite.
Yeah. I just want you to know I know where I'm going. So you needn't bother with me. She's got her walking broom. I travel light.
I've always loved Lily Taylor.
I know. She's so weird.
She
I don't know if
is.
she's like actually weird.
She seems like she'd be actually weird. She's like the American Bjork or something. I don't know.
She is our American Bjork.
And lastly is Ione Sky.
That's like the weirdest thing. She's not that weird.
Okay, that's true. Who is the American Bjork? Is there one?
No.
There's
Bjork
no
is the
comparison.
American Bjork. Bjork is the
She's the
celestial
international, global,
Bjork. She is the
celestial
global
Bjork.
Bjork is all the Bjork.
That's true.
Right? Grimes is trying, but she
Oh, I didn't even know she was Canadian.
is she
Grimes.
Canadian?
I wasn't aware.
Oh.
I don't know if that's factual or
Nobody
not.
tell her. I don't think she knows.
So, Ione Sky in this red
Oh.
checkered little
With their little
halter
cherries.
and skirt with a little cherry hair clip.
Oh, the last to arrive, and of course Ted is like boing, boing, boing.
And so Athena's like, Ted, we need these ingredients. So she sends him off for the ingredients.
Well, what's more important, the birth of a mortal or the birth of a goddess? But yeah, she's like, one of the things we need stuff from the kitchen: fresh rosemary, sea salt, fresh water, spring water. French, not Italian. Kiva wants fries or pommes frites, as it is referred to.
Why?
in the
Why would you
French
say it? They don't
hospitality.
say that in this film. Why would you poke the dragon? The palm frite dragon.
Oh, what? Poke the dragon. What you
Palm
gonna do?
frites
You gonna
dragon.
blow fire like Athena does later?
Oh, I know, and that's wild. Like nothing else
That's
crazy
wild. She
happens
just
like
got
that in
really
this,
mad.
except for the whole resurrecting of a goddess and breathing
In the
fire.
tub.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the husband was turned into a pink fish. But anyway.
and fuck him.
then-
They don't bring him back to life.
well, they don't. He's not a goddess.
That's true.
She's not. She's the leader. Ginger, raw meat, liver if you have it. Store bought's fine.
And so he brings their things and they begin their ritual.
But they only get 4 titties out.
And yes, not everyone gets the titties out. Only
Valeria Galino said no. Madonna was like, who hasn't seen him? Lily Taylor said no.
no. Madonna was like, "Have you seen this dress? I
Right?
can't
How?
just get
Like,
my
you're
titties
just gonna,
out.
like,
Like, what
pull
am
them
I
out
gonna
the
do?
top.
Yeah, like you're either gonna have to give me a different outfit or the titties are staying in.
Pull them out the top. They'd be like up around her
just
neck.
like like she's like, you see enough of the titties,
Right? Like the nipples would be pointing askew.
So they commune to bring to life the great goddess Diana, who was turned into stone in this very room 40 years ago today on her wedding night.
She was deprived of the seed of her lover.
And then they form the symbolic rock with their bodies.
Right? They're dancing around the room.
So yes, they do their seductive dance. And Valentina calls upon the ancient power.
Oh, yeah.
Milk from the mother's sweet titty.
That's a
She's
weird way for a
offering.
witch to put that. I
Yes.
feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but milk from a mother's sweet titty. Okay.
Oh, all right.
So she pours that in, and then Madge has a virgin's blood.
'Cause she bathes in it regularly. That was just in her
That's
stockpile.
She had that.
She just had
I
that
know.
on
Well,
hand.
that's what I'm saying. She's like Elizabeth Bathory,
Yes.
the legend of. Well, maybe that's what happened.
Well,
She's
maybe
been
it's-
deprived of virgins. That's why she went blind.
Oh.
If we could just get
There's not
her.
enough virgins left in the world.
There's
for
not enough
Madonna's
virgins
nightly
left.
baths.
Oh man.
Oh no.
That's horrible. So anyway, Miss Hat Lady has the sweat of 5 men's thighs. Oh, that was unplanned.
And
Good
we
job.
did not. I don't even have a note that says
No,
that. I
I
just
do not
remember
either.
there was some of that happening.
I mean, when I think of the sweat from 5 men's thighs, I can't help but to.
And then Lily offers a year's worth of tears.
Oh,
And then we find out that Miss Ione has failed in her task.
she got so hot, She swallowed.
And that's when Valerina blows fire. What is it?
Valeria.
Valeria. Isn't
always-
there an N in there?
No, I think it's Valeria.
That's Valerina. It's not Valeria.
I always think that
Valerina
name sounds like
Golino.
venereal.
Valeria, it is. You're right. Holy shit, I've been
Oh,
saying
I
it wrong
was?
my whole life. Valeria. Valeria?
Valeria?
Valeria
Gonorrhea?
Golino. The
Valerina?
Golina doesn't help.
No, it doesn't.
It makes it harder for me to remember.
I'm sorry, Ms. Galino.
Sorry about that.
Sorry.
So yeah, she blows fire.
Yep.
Everybody fucking panics.
Yeah, she's got an hour to find some spunk.
Didn't your mama teach you not to put them things in your mouth?
I mean,
She
she
has
got
an
so
hour.
hot she swallowed.
Yeah, like
What was she doing?
I don't know.
Does she have is her uvula
Sensitive
sensitive
in that way.
in that way?
So she's got 1 hour to get some sperm and knock knock.
Here comes Ted the bellboy. Oh yeah,
And then so she
the
gets
bellboy.
he gets offered $50 to make little Eva smile.
And don't use your mouth.
And he covers up her titties with his little bellhop jacket.
Oh, isn't he sweet? And he goes to make faces at her to literally try to make her smile.
And she's like, no.
I don't.
No.
They don't care if I smile or not. We're witches. We're here to raise Diana. And then we have a flashback of a photo.
Oh, yeah. So she shows him the photo of Diana that's like moving and coming to life.
Which is that like Betty Page pictures?
That's
was
what it looks like.
Bunny Yeager. That was the name. I used to have I made a thing. It was like a pencil box. I used to take it to school, and it was a bunch of cutouts of Betty Page pictures like this. And I got told I wasn't allowed to bring it to school anymore.
I only got told that when I brought the I covered my folder in the Drew Barrymore
Oh yeah,
topless photos
yeah.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I got in trouble for that at
yeah,
school.
that was the thing.
So she tells her what she was supposed to bring, and you mean you were supposed to bring, and you
Ugh.
and it's all his mannerisms in this are just chef's kiss.
Right. I know.
Like you've never known anyone in your life who moves or speaks or behaves in this way, but you never once question
Nope,
that it's just
why
a
he would
completely
do it.
normal way for a person to be.
This is exactly how Ted the bellhop behaves.
Like it doesn't seem like someone's going over the top. It's just
no,
that's just how
not
he is.
at all.
That's just Ted.
Well, this whole thing is insane.
Yes. The whole
Like I
night.
said, the husband was turned into a pink fish. They're gonna bust her
Yes.
out of a rock that's been there apparently
For just,
since she got turned
40
into
years.
it. So the fact that he's twitchy doesn't make me bat an eye.
So he says no sex with the clientele, but she puts a spell on him with her
Oh.
purple eye beams.
It is against hotel policy to actually sleep with the clientele.
Yes.
I found that out.
The hard way.
No, it was the easy way.
So he gets little hearts and UFOs and stars all around his head.
Right?
And
She
she
says, like, Betty's going to kill me.
Who's
Who's Betty? The boss.
Oh, good.
Okay, good. So they do it in the tub with the blood and the milk and the ew? Gross.
And yeah, they all gonna have infections. This is the couch out in the craft
She's gonna
on
have
the
butt
side of the road
shrooms. She's
type.
gonna
of-
have twat shrooms.
Yep. There's gonna be a yeast infection at the very least.
She's
as
going
a
to make
result.
cheese.
Oh, yeast and milk and bread's baking, all kinds of stuff's happening.
Oh, man.
Oh.
There's blood in there?
Oh,
It's a
man.
blood pudding.
Oh,
I don't know how that's made, but I'm pretty sure
a
this
New
is
Year's pud.
it. Paul Hollywood would never. Oh, you're going to get a handshake for that one, girl.
So she gets the sperm. She gives him her number. And like they really seem like cute. Like I feel like he calls her after this. You think he calls her? I feel like he calls her.
I don't know.
He hung her little hair clip up down.
Yeah,
you
maybe
know,
he
like
did.
I feel like
Maybe
he calls
did.
her.
Or maybe he didn't.
I don't know.
Maybe he dies.
So the witches come back and are all, oh yes, she got
Oh,
it.
she did it. Now Kiva wants to be a witch, and she wears the tape on them nipples.
Yep.
Like, ow!
Ouch. I offer
This
you
is
the
why-
jism of the one I
Oh.
wooed for you.
So mote it be
3 times 3 times 3.
and Diana do rise.
She do dare
And
to
she
Diana.
also needs some purple shampoo because Brasse.
She got Kimberly Jimberly hair.
She got a Kimberly. She got a Jimberly. That's what those 2 shades are called.
Yep. Yes. And you combine them together. That's the Kimberly Jimberly.
She's got the Kimberly roots and the Jimberly ends.
Yep. So back up at the front desk, the room service thing is buzzing.
Right.
And they think room 404, no, 409, I don't know,
Listen
we're on
to
the 5th floor.
YMCA.
They don't know where the fuck they are, but they need ice.
Yep, I'll bring it right away, sir.
Room 404,
The Wrong Man.
And who directed this one?
This was Alexander.
What was the last name? Dang it. I thought I had it
I
right
know,
here.
I don't know. Well, I have it at the bottom.
Rockwell.
There you go. Thank
Alexander
you.
Rockwell.
Alexander Rockwell. Okay.
So he knocks. He brings, or well, first he comes up with
He puts his
butt
butt out in
cigarette
the
out
ice
in their
and then
fucking
kinda-
ice.
That's
and
no
his
way
gum.
to get a tip, sir. I mean, it's dark. I don't know. Whatever. Like,
But
you think they're
yeah,
not
it's
going
your
to notice.
first night on the job, your second room you've had to attend to,
Well,
and
wait.
you're already that like.
Where was he coming from? He was coming from?
He was coming from the witches
Getting
because it
laid.
showed him, I think, hanging up the little cherry clip right before the room service thing buzzed. So I think he
Right,
was coming
okay.
from getting laid.
Okay. All right. But yeah. Oh no, he wouldn't have. He came from the misbehaviors room because they call. Remember when they call Siegfried and he says, "There's no needles in here, kid, just a big fucking gun." That's after he's left the kids alone in the room.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, that might be.
Because,
I didn't really map the.
Yeah, because they do that weird off-time shit.
Yeah, so
thing.
I'm not exactly sure.
So I
which
think
room
he's
he came
coming from the kids' room after that. I
Well,
don't
I know it definitely shows him at some point hanging up the little cherry hair clip. But I
yeah,
can't
no, it
remember.
definitely does. I don't know. But
So
anyhow,
anyway, he knocks on the door and it opens to a dark room.
right? It's dark in there. Anybody here? What did you expect, Theodore? A floor show?
And there's a woman tied up and a man with a gun chomping pills down dry out of his pill bottle.
Right? Yeah, Jennifer Beals is tied to the chair, and he's like, let's not beleaguer the fact that you have no sense of timing. The fact is, you're here.
So he's getting accused of sleeping with this man's wife.
Right. He thinks that it's his wife's fella, but he's the bellhop, and then he gets knocked out.
But yeah, because he's looking for a dude named Theodore, and he
Right.
just so happens
His
to be a
name-
man named Theodore.
Right. Well, it's Ted. It's Ted.
Just Ted.
Right.
So he wakes him up with the gun pointed at him and tells him this is about as intimate of a situation as you can get.
Right. And this is when he comes to, the phone rings,
Mm-hmm.
and that's when we hear, "Nah, kid, we ain't got no needles here, just a big fucking gun." How does that grab you? Ciao, bambino.
And so in the meantime, the woman's trying to get Ted to ungag her, and he does not.
No,
he's like,
I
I'm
don't know
not
what the
fucking
fuck is
getting
going
involved
on here. And you know what? Yeah, I don't know what this is.
I don't know what you're doing in
People
here.
do not.
This is a sex
when
thing.
they start. Yeah, I'm telling you, when people stay in hotels and like they got a problem with their TV, they do not bother to put all the shit away before you go up
Before
there to
they
fix
call
it.
you in, yeah.
I'm serious. They
So
don't.
dildos out on all
It's
the
like
surfaces.
you're not even. They're like, yeah, it doesn't matter if the fucking night clerk sees.
You're a
it.
non-person.
You're like a non-person. Doesn't matter. Well, they probably spent. They also like some of it's elaborate, and it's like you just kind of keep your eyes down and flick the little cable switch over, and
Oh my god.
off you go.
Oh my goodness.
Hmm.
Oh wow. My rig cannot come down. I'm not putting this all back up.
Right? Seriously, like you can't hang that in here.
So the dude forces Ted to say, I Theodore,
Yeah. Hello.
must humbly and sincerely apologize for saying fucked another man.
Well,
What?
well,
Are you satisfied, Angela?
You
And she's
accept
like,
the fucking apology?
like, first of all, what?
Yeah. Is this a weird sex type thing, isn't it?
It has to be.
Like, well, because she even says later, like, we play this game all the time.
So yeah, I don't
So,
know
I
whether
mean,
it ends in sex or if he just gets off on the power trip or what.
Who
but
can say? He ends up sleeping it off. She's like, he'll be sleeping till Christmas.
and so you always have to have the last word,
Yeah,
Angela.
she's
gagged.
gagged. Oh boy.
And Ted tries to help, like, translate. Are you condescending to me, Theodore?
Right. Like he's like, I know. I thought she was trying to answer. He's like, haven't you noticed There's a gag in her mouth.
I put that gag in her mouth.
I know because I put it there.
He points his gun back at Ted, but then he goes to the bathroom.
Right. And then that's when Ted ungags Angela. And she's like, untie me. And Siegfried's in there looking for the Percodan.
And why would he straddle her to untie
I
her?
don't know because he's Ted.
And so he comes back into Ted straddling his wife, and he was just beginning to think he could trust him.
Right. Well, first she tells him, like it or not, you're in a situation you can't wish your way out of. So,
Yes.
like, you know, he's like, I don't even know you.
Put the gag back in and play by the rules, and you won't get hurt.
Right. Like, he comes back out and he's like, can I call you Teddy? It's like, if this is some weird voodoo thing where you want me to have sex with your wife, it won't work. Because he tells him, like, get nibbling, bunny.
Yeah, he tells him he used to
And
have a little bunny rabbit,
Named Teddy.
and he wants him to nibble on Angela's ears now. And Ted's
Right.
like, no.
No, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play this game anymore. And look, it's Ted. My name is Ted. And yes, my mother did me a disservice by naming me Theodore, but I don't know how you would know that since everyone that knows that is thousands of miles away. So shoot me now, because nobody is ever going to call me Theodore again.
Let alone Theo the Thumper. And the man is stunned. He shakes Ted's hand and introduces himself as Siegfried.
My name is Siegfried.
Very impressive, Ted. And Angela's like smiling up
She's
at them
like,
like they just
"Aw,
made friends. Like, oh,
Are
this
we
is
best
gonna-"
friends now?
And Siegfried pulls Ted in and smooches him on the mouth.
Goes in for the kiss and then has a heart attack.
I need my nitro pills.
In the bathroom.
And now Ted goes in the bathroom and it's bloody in there.
What's happening in there?
I don't know.
And do they live there? Because in like the medicine cabinet, it seems like an
It's got
established
so it's like they live there. They're like residents of the hotel.
resident weirdos.
And like, what is bloody in there? Because they're not bloody, so that means they've had.
The rag underneath there is bloody.
Well, but there's also something in the tub, like a bloody towel hanging off the tub. So there's like a bloody rag under the sink.
Yeah,
But then there's also like in the background, there's a bloody something else.
I didn't notice the
Yeah.
other that. I just figured that the towel was like rusty from being under the. Well,
That
there's-
could have just been rust, but I swear there was a
there
bloody
is a
towel
dead
on the
body.
tub.
Eventually,
yeah, at a certain
So I
point.
mean, who knows what's going on?
Did it?
Maybe they did. Bum bum bum.
And when Ted can't find the pills, he tries to climb out the window, which is way up high. Number
Yes,
one,
I love that super
And is
wide
very
shot.
small.
Like,
Yes.
help me
with the arrow.
This is Ted. This is Ted.
And then this guy above almost pukes in his face.
He hears a
gets
noise
in just
and he
in
turns
time.
himself up, and he's like, "I can't explain it to you, but can you call the police?" And then he gets back in right before he gets covered in vomit.
And when he gets back in, Angela's turned on her side on the floor, and the husband Siegfried's passed out.
Right, he's like, "Well, nobody seems to be there at first," and then he's like,
Yeah.
"Oh shit!" Like he thought they
Everyone's
left.
on
Like
the
that would have
floor.
been wild.
They're just gone. It's like
So-
no one was ever here.
So he.
She's
He's
yelling
like,
at
I'm
him
gonna
to get the
some help.
nitro.
And he's like, I'm gonna go get some help. Like, untie her.
And Siegfried just pops up behind him.
Right, he's right behind him.
Thank God you're okay.
I tie a pretty good knot.
It was just a test. Now I know you want me forever.
Right, Angela calls him a bastard. And he's like, yeah, I know you love me forever. So now Angela decides to keep the game going and calls Ted out for not fucking her on the down low.
And that he has a
Like-
huge cock.
Why are you doing this to me?
Show it to me.
Yeah.
What? His cock?
No.
His bone?
Yeah.
His knob?
Yep.
His bishop?
Wang, thang, rod, hot rod, hotmobile, Oscar, dog, dagger, banana, cucumber, salami, sausage, kielbasa, schlong, dink, tool, Big Ben,
God,
Mr.
so
Happy,
many.
Peter, pecker, pee-pee, wee-wee, wiener, kisser, pistol, joint, hose, horn, middle leg, third leg, meat stick, joystick, dipstick, one-eyed wonder.
My favorite is Rumple Foreskin.
Yeah, that one. Yeah, roll foreskin, tootsie roll, love muscle, skin flute, roto-rooter, snake.
Like, what? The guys get all the nicknames.
I
There's
know.
like not even half that many nicknames for
Flange.
your spam purse.
Minge, X-Wound.
Oh, go look up Rather Good. That was a Rather Good video.
Oh, so yes, while she's driving him insane, Ted manages to escape and runs into somebody who wants to know where room 404 is, and he has absolutely no idea what he's talking about.
And he goes in the room, and his name is also,
Also
Theodore.
Theodore.
What the fuck? they're in a Theodore Bermuda Triangle. Like they just suck in all the Theodores.
The actual Theodore? Because it wasn't even room 404. Because we find that out later.
I assumed he was the guy. He was looking for the party. Right. He was supposed to be looking for initially.
And he thought that it was room 404 because was he the guy that called?
No, I don't think so.
Or maybe they would talk to somebody else that thought it was 404 because the room that they're actually in is 409.
Yeah. I think it's because the guys in the party keep telling people they're in 404 and they're in 504 because they say, aren't we on the fifth floor?
Right.
But
And they're on the floor right above.
Yeah.
Ah.
All right. Well, before we get into the last two segments, we're going to take a quick break.
Let's do it.
We'll be right back. All right, one thing you guys may not know about Doom Generation Podcast is we are some cheapskates.
Dude, we do not like to spend the coin at all.
So when we were about to do this podcast, we did some major searching into what is the cheapest way.
We did more research into how to do this than we
do
into our podcast.
And let me tell you what, this Anchor is like the only free platform that distributes your podcast for you to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and a whole bunch of other places.
You can do all kinds of stuff when you're doing it too. You can record your sound effects, you can manage your episodes, and you can track your little analytics.
Yep, you can see where everybody's listening from, how often they're listening.
From your phone, from your computer.
We
probably still would not have had any episodes out.
If it were not for Anchor, this podcast
Anchor,
would not be in your ear holes right now.
No, it would not. We would still be just recording it for ourselves.
Yep, listening back to ourselves in the garage.
At our own jokes.
So if you would like to have a podcast, but you don't know if you want to spend any money, you need to go get this Anchor app or go to anchor.fm and get started now.
And we now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
And we're back.
We're back, and we have come to room 309.
The Misbehaviors.
Don't misbehave.
By Robert Rodriguez.
Yes.
And so he's back. Ted's back at the front desk.
Yes, this is where
he hangs up the cherry clips. So he came from her room
back down
to the Misbehaviors.
So yeah,
the first time.
Right.
Okay. And so Antonio orders a bottle of champagne.
Bottle of champagne. Fast.
And they are getting, the man and wife are getting themselves and their son and daughter ready to go out.
Mm-hmm.
And the hair combing.
Ruin your suit.
You look cool with your hair back like this,
like me. Not all down at the side, all stupid, like your mother likes to comb it.
Which, you know what?
He's yanking on this kid's hair. Both of these parents seem kind of like...
They are not good parents.
Nope, doesn't seem that way.
They don't want these children.
Nope, doesn't seem that way.
And like he hands the boy his cigarette to hold while he combs his hair.
He puts it down on the counter,
and
but the kid picks it up and he's smoking it.
Taking a puff.
Impossible. You have your mother's hair. Can't do anything with it. I know it's already begun.
The wife's like, are we going to have fun tonight? And he blows his fucking cigarette smoke at her.
I didn't think so.
Like, what the fuck?
Like, then he suggests, hey, why don't we leave the kids here? You want to have fun tonight, don't you?
Just leave them in with the TV.
Yeah, you know, it's fine.
And at first, that's what they're going to do. He tells them, all right, we're leaving. Be in bed and asleep before 12.
Mm-hmm. And
don't be back later. Maybe.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Don't misbehave.
Don't misbehave.
And the boy immediately tries to open the window and escape.
Yeah, and he like, what did I say?
Comes back in.
Behave.
Yes, Papa. Ted arrives with the champagne.
But
Too late.
Too late.
Put it on ice.
Yes.
But then he's like, hey, you want $500?
How about 3?
All right, 3 is fine.
All right, check on them every 30 minutes.
And he's like, oh, no, I'll send out for a babysitter. I don't trust this fucked up pedophile babysitter. It's like, you don't know this man. His
right,
wife's
that's what she was like, what about him?
Grabs him by the cheeks. You can trust this face.
Isn't this a face you could trust?
And he's like, no, seriously, I'm here by myself. I can't do this.
Like, this is a pain in the ass I don't need. So are you calling my kids a pain in the ass?
No, not the kids. It's the situation that's a pain in the ass.
No, you're right the first time. You're a pain in the ass.
So he gives him the 500, and then he wants him in bed before midnight, and don't wake them up for the countdown.
He's all, should I wake them for the new year? No.
And if something happens to my children, I wouldn't want to be you.
Mm-hmm. So then they dip, and this dip and smooch in the elevator while he's kicking the give me that desperado banderas.
So Ted gives him the rundown. Don't break the rules, and I won't break your necks.
Yep, someone said that to me once, but they weren't joking.
Don't do anything you wouldn't do if your parents were here.
And if there's an emergency, call me.
That's not what my dad said.
Nope. He said to call you if we needed anything.
We paid you $500 and we will call you if we need anything.
Mm-hmm.
If you're good, I'll bring you milk and cookies.
Right?
And he takes off.
Yep.
So they turn on the TV, and the young man immediately finds Salma Hayek dancing on the
Takes
TV.
off his shoes, and now it's like, she's like, your feet stink.
She like beats his ass to get him to change the channel.
Right. She calls the front desk to tell on her brother, like, turn off the nudie station in our room.
I'm not turning on the nudie station.
No, turn it off.
It's not on.
Right? Like, now he turns around, she's taking off her shoes.
Now you're the one with the stinky feet.
She's like, no, take a smell for yourself. And like, I know that this is Robert Rodriguez and not Quentin Tarantino, but the
with a
fact,
lot
like,
of the
with a
feet.
lot of the feet,
Yeah.
now this makes me uncomfortable because these are children,
Uh-huh.
and Quentin Tarantino was involved.
Yes. And so it immediately made me think the same thing. I had to keep telling myself,
This
but he
isn't
didn't
Quentin
direct this
Tarantino.
one.
It wasn't him.
So
But like, this kid gets this real
Right up
close,
in the-
like all up in this thing, and takes a sniff, and she kicks him right in the face.
launches him off the damn bed.
Right.
And changes it to the cartoons, and then he starts shaking up the champagne.
She's like, don't shake it.
She opens the drawer and finds a big old hypodermic needle,
Huge
like a
syringe.
horse tranquilizer,
Like-
fucking hypodermic.
The kind you use to like put in your turkeys.
Yes, like that's not something
That's
someone
not a
was shooting
drug
heroin up
syringe.
with.
Or holy shit.
Ouch.
How much was
Give
in
me
there?
all of the drugs.
That's what killed her.
For sure.
Or some. Damn.
So that's when she calls Ted and tells him the cleaning ladies left needles and things in their room.
Right? And yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think anybody cleaned that room in a while.
No, it doesn't seem that
Well,
way.
he
You
did-
would have noticed that needle. That
I
wasn't
didn't
like
see
a
any
small-
housekeeping staff during this evening.
No, I didn't. I guess. Well, because even the old guy was talking about how we used to have a staff of 50 and now it's just me. So
Yeah?
maybe.
There's no way one person is taking care of a 5 or more floor hotel, though.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's why there's needles in the drawers on top of the bibbles.
And she asked him to bring them their free toothbrushes.
Right. It says he'll bring us toothbrushes, so bring us toothbrushes.
Then she calls room 409 and asks Siegfried about the needles.
Right.
And then the little brother's sucking on his own big toe.
I know.
Like, it
why?
was just weird. Like,
That why?
I've never known a kid who sucks on their big toe. So why is that
No.
a thing that you felt the need to
I
include?
don't.
Is it what?
Yeah,
that
he
Quentin
must
was
have
involved in
been.
this somehow?
He was like, "Hey kid, put your toe in your mouth."
Like, it was just
oh,
weird. Like,
see
why?
now that's just putting a taint on it. That's putting a taint on it. I hope Quentin didn't put his taint on it.
Oh! So
Come
the sister
on.
goes and gets mom's lipstick and draws a big target on a painting in the room to play darts with this huge needle.
Yeah, because that's good. And he throws it while she's like, "Wait till I'm out of the way."
Right past her face.
So Ted comes in with milk and saltines.
It's sleepy time.
Right, and he notices a smell too.
And he thinks it's their shoes. He knocks
Right.
them off the bed, puts them to bed in their clothes.
And then he puts the mentholatum ointment on their eyelids.
Don't open your eyes or it will burn, burn, burn.
Did you ever open your eyes?
Nope.
Yes.
Oh,
and
no,
look
yeah,
at,
he
yeah, and look at me now. She's like, we
Yes.
can't. Good. And now, after a while, it's fireworks time, and Sarah wakes up and she gets out of bed and washes it off of her face.
Like an intelligent young lady.
Right, and then she gets up again and she's watching.
She's drinking like wine and watching a
Right.
cartoon. She sends her brother to go wash his face off.
Yeah, if you want to watch too, you better go wash your face. And again,
The smell.
the smell, like, what is it? And so,
She slides the mattress aside.
and
there is a dead woman under
they're,
there.
like crammed into the mattress, like
shoved
wow.
in there. Like, it looked like they had to have taken parts out of
yes,
the thing to have shoved her in there.
So, like, and she didn't look like that putrefied
And I'm assuming
she
she
would've
OD'd, like,
with
because
that
of the big needle.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like, how much heron could have possibly been
Siegfried
in
put her
there?
in there. Who put her in there?
Who put her in the bed?
So he comes, or no, they call, and
like,
he's
who
like,
died? She's like, I don't
he's like,
know, but
"Wait a
she's in
minute."
my bed. There's a dead body in my bed.
bullshit, you can't see anything.
He's like, impossible. You have the ointment on your eye. She's like, do you never thought to wash it off?
Oops, nope.
Yeah, you better get up here, or my dad'll lay you right down next to her. I swear to fucking God.
He goes to head up at the same time as dad and wife are. Or dad's carrying mom drunk
She's
back in the
passed
door.
out, and Ted beats them to the elevator.
He gets in there. The little brother's smoking a cigarette.
Right, like cover it up.
The girl's got the alcohol in her hand.
Right. Ted runs into the room. She's chugging. The boy is smoking. He
smacks
smacks it
the
out of
boy.
his mouth. She's like, check the mattress. Can't you smell it? And he's like, it's your feet.
And she moves it herself, and he smacks the boy again and turns
He
and
like
sees the
throws
body.
up.
Like all in one move. He like
Yes.
throws up on himself, calls the police, the elevator opens.
There's a dead whore in the
Stop
mattress.
calling her
Stop
that.
calling her that. So she stabs him in the thigh with a syringe, and that is when
The door
he
opens.
steps on the remote. The dancing girl comes on the TV again. The parents walk in. Things are catching fire.
So we got the nudie channel on, the bellhop covered in puke, holding a big old hypodermic in his hand, holding on to a dead lady's leg under the mattress.
Right, the kid's smoking. The other kid's got a bottle of champagne
And
that
the
she's
room's
gonna
on
clobber
fire.
him with, and the room is on fire. And he's like, "Did they misbehave?"
The millionaire's holiday. Yeah. The sprinklers come on. And so, yeah, he comes out all wet and pissed and calls
Right.
Betty the boss.
By now, Ted has had it.
And Marissa Tomei answers the phone.
She's smoking bowls and playing Rambo, and he wants to speak to Betty. The party's over. She probably went home.
This sounds like it hasn't been the happiest of New Year's.
No, this has been starting off pretty fucking badly. I was fucked by a coven of witches.
You were fucked by an oven full of witches?
No, a coven full of witches. Actually, that sounds not
Yeah,
too
what's the
bad. Like,
problem?
yeah, I fail to see the problem here, Ted. He's like, actually.
That was the best part of
Well,
the
she
evening.
she goes, well, what was she like, all ugly and like got warts and shit? And he's like, no, she was very beautiful.
It was the best part of the evening, but an unnerving way to start off the night.
Right.
Skipping the witches.
Anyway, let's skip the witches. Skipping the witches.
So he tells her all about his night, and finally she calls Betty to come to the phone.
Anybody here named Betty? And Kathy Griffin sits up behind her like a monster in her jeans and her boots on, and she lives there.
Yeah, it's my
Like,
fucking
bitch,
place.
Go to bed. Yeah.
Hello, Betty.
Hello.
What's the
Ted.
pro-
Yeah.
And
Okay,
she's like,
Ted.
"What's
What's the
the problem?"
problem? Oh, hello, Betty. What's the problem? I haven't got problems. Or problem. I got fucking problems. Plural. Wanna eh?
And he lists off his problems and tells her he is walking out the door right fucking
It's like,
now.
most recently, room 309. A scary Mexican gangster dude sticking his finger in my chest. His hooligan kids snapping their fingers at me. There's a putrid, rotting corpse of a dead whore stuffed in the springs of the bed. There's rooms blazing afire. There's a big fat fucking needle from God knows where stuck in my leg, infecting me with God knows what. And finally, there's me, walking out the door right fucking now. Buenas noches.
And then the penthouse rings.
Is that the penthouse?
Just please take care of Chester Rush, and then you can leave.
With the whole entire staff.
He's the
needs
most
you.
important guest of the hotel.
We're begging you.
He's like, finally agrees, but he's like, get your ass down here pronto.
Right.
And
Like,
he answers the phone.
sorry for the delay. How can I help you?
Penthouse, the man from Hollywood. And this one's directed by Quentin Tarantino and has a suspicious lack of feet.
Yeah, just Angela. I
Just
think.
Angela
Yeah.
and no like super close-ups of feet.
Well, it's mostly men, so that's why there's no feet.
He's not interested in man feet. We've established
We
this already.
have. He would never give a man a foot massage.
No. So Ted comes down the hall to two naked skanks being kicked out,
Right.
running to the
Get
elevator.
your skanky asses out of here.
And he knocks room service, and Angela opens the door.
What the fuck are you doing here?
Having a
a
drink.
Is Siegfried here?
Are you kidding? He'll probably be asleep till Christmas.
It's like, hey, everybody, the Bellboy's here. Yeah.
Woo! So Quentin is the famous guy, Chester Rush. He offers Ted some champagne.
It's Cristal.
the very best they make.
Yep. And then he says, chin chin.
What do you think about that tasty beverage? What is
Right?
with him
What
in
is
the
it with-
words
that's what I was like.
tasty
He
beverage?
fucking loves him a tasty beverage.
That's his cellar door.
It is his cellar door.
He loves
well,
the way
we know what his
tasty-
cellar door is, but we're not going to repeat
He
it.
loves the way tasty beverage sounds.
Well, it does. I kind of like a tasty beverage. I like to say a tasty beverage. I call it a beverage.
A tasty beverage.
A tasty beverage.
And so it's good. It's fucking good.
It's fucking good, Ted. Fucking good. Let's try it
fucking
again.
Cristal.
How's the tasty beverage? It's fucking good, sir. It's Cristal. Everything else is fucking piss.
And this is where he mentions Jerry Lewis.
Right. Fuck Jerry Lewis.
And so that makes sense. That's where this
Right, the
came
silent
from.
performance. Like, how many actors could pull that off? He's got to go to France to get any respect. The minute Jerry Lewis dies, every newspaper in the country will say what a genius he was, and it's not fucking right, and it's not fucking fair.
And it didn't happen.
Well,
So He tells them they just met Angela at the pool and introduces Norman, who's the one yelling bellboy at you. Leo's on the phone with his wife, Ellen.
Right. He's like, huh? Huh?
And then he finds a flat bottle of Cristal and is pissed.
What? Who didn't put the fucking cork in it? Do you have any idea how much this cost? No, because it's free. It's fucking free to you assholes. I give and I give and I give. He talks about his wacky detective movie, his very popular movie, and that his new movie, The Dog Catcher, is slated to make even more.
But now they want to see the goodies Ted brought.
Right. He's like, I'm not a frog and you're not a bunny, so let's not jump ahead.
So he's got a block of wood,
3 nails. Why 3 nails? So we could put Jesus up for the night. Ha.
a ball of twine,
Yep. A bucket of ice.
a donut,
That's for me.
a club sandwich,
That's mine.
and a hatchet.
That's a cleaver, though, isn't it?
A hatchet as sharp as the devil himself is what I asked for.
Oh, you be the judge.
yeah,
That's a
I don't know.
sharp
Is that? I
motherfucker.
think a hatchet has a longer handle.
I feel, isn't it like a little axe?
I feel like a cleaver. Yeah, I think a hatchet. Hey, number one fan,
Does
you know
anybody
these
know?
things. Let us know. Is that a hatchet? Is that a cleaver? I'm pretty sure it's a cleaver.
But anyway, it's sharp as the devil himself. Either way,
And that's really the
that's
important
the
part.
important part.
And so Leo's still on the phone arguing with his fucking wife.
Yes, and then she hangs up on him, and he tears all that shit up. Like,
Throws
what's
a little
wrong with this
tantrum.
fucking bitch, man? Treat this fucking bitch like a queen. Come on.
And then he sees the items.
He's like,
Ooh.
oh, Chester, no way. Fucking talk to me.
We now return you to the man from Rio.
Oh, man, my dick is so fucking hard already.
Tell me
Come
we're
on,
gonna
tell
do
me,
this
Norman.
shit.
Tell me you're going to do this shit.
And Ted tries to leave, and they're like, no.
No.
We need you to take part in the festivities.
Yes. He's like, well.
And they're like, there's nothing homosexual going
Right.
on.
Like, we
He's
just want to let you
okay.
know right off the bat, we're not going to try to fuck you or nothing.
Angela's trying to help, and they're like, shut the fuck up, bitch.
Bitch.
And she
She's
calls
like-
them out, and they give her props.
Right. Like, aren't you one getting paid to suck his cork, boy?
And so Leo explains this old Alfred Hitchcock episode called The Man from Rio.
Peter Lorre and Steve McQueen.
And they make a bet that Steve McQueen can't light a cigarette lighter 10 times in a row.
And if he wins, Laurie gets a new car. But if he doesn't, Laurie gets to chop off McQueen's little finger.
So Norman has bet his pinky that he can light his lighter 10 times and win Chester's 1964 Chevy Chevelle.
Is that not Vincent Vega's car?
I don't know. You know what?
It's
me
red.
and cars.
It's
I
a
don't
red,
know.
beautiful fucking car.
Was his red? I thought his was
It was
black.
red.
Oh Jesus! I
I feel like
I
that's
can't
the
even
car.
remember from fucking 2
I
movies
feel
ago
like
or whatever
that was actually Quentin Tarantino's car.
It probably is, and it was just a reason to bring up his rad
He's
car
got
in
this
a movie
car.
and show it off.
Well, either way, Norman drives a fucking Honda. His
Yeah,
sister sold
anything's
him.
better, and especially this beautiful car.
I am willing to take the thing. So anyway, they're drinking like a they're drinking champagne. No. We're drinking Cristal. When you're drinking Cristal, you say you're drinking Cristal.
He was fucking obsessed with Cristal.
I know.
Too.
He's
I don't think so because they said his Chevrolet was stolen while filming Pulp Fiction.
So it wasn't his, or maybe that was the one he had, and he was just talking about it or something.
maybe.
Does it say was?
Convertible that Vincent Vega drives around
Mm-hmm.
was stolen during the production.
Oh, Vincent Vega's
Oh.
convertible was stolen during production.
Oh.
So I guess
So,
not.
well, I mean, the car wasn't actually in this movie.
Right,
They
it was just like
talk
a
about it.
magazine. Just like
yeah,
a,
it was
a
a
photo
picture
of it.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
actually have the
So
car.
it could still have been the same one.
I mean, it
that he
wasn't
was
parked
talking
in the
about.
penthouse. That would be weird.
That would be weird.
Drove
Did
it all
have
the
them
way
big
up
double
this-
doors.
I mean, they could have lifted it through the window. I don't know.
And so they explain that they want Ted to be the hatchet man.
Right, because nobody
Nobody wants to cut Norman's
wants
finger
to
off.
cut
They're
his
all
finger
friends
off.
here.
They're all friends, and like
They're
you know,
gonna
he's-
rush it to get sewn back on. That's what the ice is for.
Right. And he's not going to have any problem with taking my keys, but when the time comes, we might not be able to actually cut his finger.
And so
off.
he tries to take off again, and they're like, "Wait,
Come on.
$100 for 1 minute.
Right.
Even if you tell us to fuck off."
right, you will at least be $100 richer.
So they start making a money pile,
Mhm.
slapping
He has
down the
2
dollars.
piles of money.
and so basically,
60 seconds he wants.
he comes down to you're gonna get $1,000 for 1 second's worth
Right.
of work.
He was like, so how much is there? They're like 600. You know how long it takes to count to 600? About a minute longer than it takes to count to 700. And he throws another one down. And he's like, you could have a zillion life experiences, and most you'll forget, and some you'll remember for the rest of your life. Boom, 800. And since what we're proposing is so unusual, 900. And out of the norm, 1,000. It's a good bet that this memory will stick with you. And are you going to remember that you made $1,000 for 1 second's work, or that you refused $1,000 for 1 second's work, and that's time.
So he agrees.
He's like, okay,
They set it up. He sits there with the hatchet raised ready.
right? Everyone's all excited.
And Norman flicks the Zippo
Does
one
not
time.
go. He takes the finger, takes the money,
Immediate
and fucking bails.
saunters out the door.
Oh, credits roll
To this
everybody's
fabulous
chaos.
music.
Oh my god!
Screaming in the background, and
Julie,
he's
where's
just
the
like,
finger? Where's the finger?
Yep.
Call Cedars. And like Angela's like, I'm just gonna go back to my room, okay?
See, I think he went back to the witch's room after this. He's like, I'm off.
Right?
He fucking took that
$1,000.
grand. He went back to
took
the
Ava
witch's
out.
room, took Ava out. He was like, it's New Year's Eve. Fuck this
Right?
place.
Fuck
Let it
this
burn.
job.
It's probably on fire. It was on fire.
It was on
because
fire,
the misbehaviors
right?
had
That's
set
true. It
fire
was
to the
clearly
room
on
previously.
fire. He didn't give a
So
shit. He
it
just left it
burned
on
as he
fire.
walked
He
away.
took Ava and went. But yeah, so yes, of course, the Allison Anders, Alexandra Rockwell, Robert Rodriguez, and Quentin Tarantino.
Yes.
But yeah, I like how they almost forget the finger and then they put it in the ice bucket and then drop the ice bucket.
In the
And
scramble.
oh, it's so funny.
I
like,
just love
watching
that they
whole
didn't.
thing.
I just remember being very surprised that it was the first
Like,
one. Like it
immediately.
didn't even do like a
Nope.
3
Nope.
light thing
Nope.
before it happened. It was
I
like, nope, it
absolutely
did not
love-
happen
did not-
at all.
And it's his lucky lighter,
Yeah.
his lucky Zippo did not work.
Norman, that Zippo better go in the trash.
He's like,
after
fuck
this.
it. You know what? $1,000. I'll chop someone's fucking finger off for
I
$1,000.
would do it.
You wouldn't?
I know. I think I would.
Oh,
do
I
it.
would do it.
I think I would do it.
I don't know Norman.
If it's someone I don't know,
I don't know Norman.
and they've assured me that like
They're like, I don't know. Everything's cool.
Everybody's
We're gonna
cool
take
with this?
like he wants to do it.
I might do it.
He put his hand out there.
He sure did.
He had a lot of faith in his lighter. Didn't work out. Took the finger. He agreed.
So I don't know. Did this movie doom us? The movie doomed us to love Tim Roth.
I mean, I love
loved
a
Tim Roth because of
anthology.
this. Well, not be just because of this.
Well, no,
but
not because
it
of this, but it
ensured
was-
my love of Tim Roth.
Yes, because it was so different than that. Like, because this was like a foray into comedy.
Yeah.
kind of for him. It's a dark comedy, but like, it's normally he's playing shoot 'em up guys.
And it apparently doomed us to be able to agree to chopping someone's finger off for $1,000.
Right, I'll fucking do it. I'd do it for
I
less
would've
than
never
that.
thought about it.
I would have agreed to do it before he would have gotten to like the
Oh.
$1,000 that he's going to give me.
Number one fan because he builds like guillotines and
Mm-hmm.
catapults and all these different things. Somebody actually asked him for like a working, like that would cut a finger off guillotine.
Oh,
And I asked him, I
see.
go, are they trying to do 4 rooms? And he goes, I don't know. But he sent him a message back that was like, I cannot in good conscience
No, I
build this for
probably-
you after you just
No,
asked
I
me if you
probably
could
wouldn't
cut
do
off and
that.
dish it with it.
I probably wouldn't do that.
Yeah. So he,
But
I
if I
believe,
was
turned the guy
faced some
down.
sort of situation in which they were like, well, we'll give you $1,000 to be impartial
Yeah.
and cut off this person's finger
Especially if
willingly.
it was a finger guillotine. That's even more fun.
Oh, well, I
if
mean,
I
if
don't
there
even
was
have
a
to be in charge
I
of a,
wouldn't
like,
even,
of
I'm like, I'll
aiming
do
a
it for
hatchet,
free.
just like
I
I just
know
have to
that
pull
would be
the
what I'd
thing.
be most worried about because I got terrible
I get more
aim.
than one finger is my problem.
I'd take his whole fucking
That's what
hand.
I'm saying. He'd be missing more than a pinky.
You know what? And that's where the problem would be.
Is the aim.
is because I wouldn't be
Because
able
Ted
to
had
do it
some
right.
precision.
I'd probably kill the guy.
I don't think I'd kill him, but I definitely would not just cleanly sever
I don't
a
know.
pinky.
Like I would certainly
Yeah.
not cleanly say. I would probably end up like burying it between his eyes, right
between
his
Bruce
fucking
Willis's eyes
Yes,
next
like,
to
not
him.
even- that's not even
like
there.
not even the same guy.
Yes, Angela's over there trying to eat her sandwich, and I
She's like,
fucking
"God
take her
damn
right
it."
out, cut her foot off, gave it to Quentin.
So we have a unique yearbook signing. We have been sent
We have
special
been sent
instructions for this yearbook signing. So
Should I get over there so I can see the pictures?
So maybe, yeah. So
attached? All
apparently
right.
there's some photos attached. So this email is coming from Ace of Spade, Spade Designs on Instagram. And I'm going to open it. It says, the Doom Generation giveth and the Doom Generation taketh away. Greetings, Doom Generation. I hope this letter finds you in good health. As for me, I am deep days into the sickness. I know not what it is, but I do know it is not as poetic as the consumption. All sense of routine and normality are but old memories. Earlier in the week, I attempted to lift my spirits by playing your latest episode, Ghostbusters. Sadly, I found I could not enjoy it in its entirety. A cruel twist of fate has me stricken with pain upon laughter. Contrary to popular belief, laughter is not the best medicine. Patch Adams is a false prophet. So every few minutes, I had to shut it off, until one day I just couldn't take it and I desperately needed to laugh. The pain be damned. I saw it as a challenge to hold in my laughter, like making out with somebody in the same room as your sleeping roommate. Y'all's recap never fails to entertain, as always, and I successfully suppressed my laughter throughout, letting only occasional wheezing, muttly laugh escape. Y'all's comedic stylings brought much-needed levity to my current bleak existence. Then y'all said the line, Sigourney Weaver tops. With that, a lightning bolt of inspiration struck me. My spine went straight, and energy reserves I did not know I had took over. My arms flew about all akimbo like an octopus playing the drums. When Nicole said, put that on a t-shirt, Spade, see image 1. I did not, by the way. So here we go. Sigourney Weaver tops. Or maybe I did say that. I don't know. So he sent a photo of Sigourney Weaver topping. Well, she's not topping in the photo, but it's a t-shirt. That would have been hilarious. Sigourney Weaver topping. He said, I'm on it. Because by the time Nicole said put that on a t-shirt, I was already elbow deep into the muck of creativity. But my newfound will for existing dashed with only 4 words. Wait, don't. It's mine. Oh, that's what it was, because I told him no. I said, put that on a shirt. And then I said, no, don't put that on a shirt. And he said, see image 2. So he sends the same one with the words canceled across the front. With that, the laptop closes and I retreat back into my cave of sickly sorrow. Only about 80% of that is accurate, maybe 80. The rest is played up for dramatic effect, but in all seriousness, really funny episode. It's definitely what I needed in my current state, and it's an honor to be mentioned, even if in passing, in the back and forth banter that you two share. Despite the fact that it sent me into a very painful laughing and coughing fit, it was uplifting to my spirits, which I desperately needed. So thank you for that. And if this is to be my last correspondence with the living world, then let this be known as my surviving will. I want all my worldly possessions to be entombed with me. It is my stuff, and like the pharaohs of old, I am taking it with me. So in all my years, I've never learned how to properly end correspondence, which is where I find myself now. So I am done now. Bye. So that was very long, Spade. And we will see. If you're hearing this, it made it into the episode. And if you never hear this, well, you don't know any of this happened.
I mean, I guess you can. I mean, whatever.
It is his birthday.
Happy
Birthday, Spade.
It is his birthday.
Happy birthday,
We're
Spade.
going to give Sigourney Weaver a call and see if she'll top you.
We were a little short on time anyway this episode, so maybe you'll get lucky.
Well, there you go.
We'll leave it in. Just for your birthday, and we'll post your Sigourney Weaver tops and your canceled Sigourney Weaver tops photos when this episode hits. And on that note, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And we'll
2023.
See you next year, Doomers.
2020 Reef.